Hey everybody, welcome back to the Porter Says podcast. Want to thank you so much for tuning in to this episode. Not gonna keep you too long. I think as I said in the last one, I'm trying to make these videos a little bit shorter and a little bit easier to consume. I feel like I've got a bunch of episodes planned. I've already kind of written the bullet points down of what ones are going to be recorded this week. So obviously right now in this one, I'm going to be somewhat quickly, hopefully, discussing the brand new Stranger Things Season 5 official teaser trailer, because the last one we got was more of a date announcement for when the show was coming back. So now we've got the official teaser, which came out, I think, towards the end of last week. Maybe the beginning, I can't remember. And man, I am very, very excited for this final season. I've been for a while, but now I'm definitely excited to see how it's going to conclude, and who's gonna live, who's gonna die. I mean, this trailer showed quite a bit, but also they didn't spoil anything, obviously, because I feel like a lot of trailers these days spoil things, and that this trailer did not. It gave us the perfect amount of what a teaser should do. It shows us very quick flashes of what's going to be happening, where characters could potentially end up, and there's so much to talk about. I'm just kind of gonna go and talk about the ones that stand out to me the most. So one of the biggest things or shots in this trailer is there is a shot of Nancy washing blood off her hands and crying, and I'm just thinking, who could have possibly died in that? And in situations like that, I think it's either going to be Steve or Jonathan, the brother of Jonathan Byers, the brother of Will Byers. It could be either one of those two. I personally think it could end up being Steve, just because he's had such a good character arc, and he's had a lot of really good character development. If you look back in the first season, he was kind of a bit of an asshole and not super likable, but by season 2, you're in love with the dude. You think he's one of the best characters in the series. In my opinion, he might be my favorite. Honestly, it's always between him and Mike and Dustin and all that. So it could potentially be either one of those. There's a shot of what looks to be Dustin really kind of a little bit beaten up. God knows what could have caused that, really. I'm very excited to see that. See, what causes that, because he looks somewhat badly injured. There's another shot of him hugging someone while crying. There's a lot of shots in here of him crying. Also, I'm so sorry. Porter's being Porter in the background. This being the Porter Says podcast, you figured he'd show up more, but he's kind of annoying anyway, so I'm kind of glad he doesn't. Anyway, back to what I was saying. There is a shot of what looks to be Mike's mother and his sister Holly, in underwater, trying to hold their breath. I'm not entirely sure what that could mean. There's been theories going around that potentially those characters could die in this final season. What else is there to talk about? There's a quick shot of Will Byers falling to the ground, and that kind of is leading into maybe him being possessed by Vecna, potentially, which I think we all know is probably going to happen. There was, we got some shots of the Demodogs, which they're coming back. The Demogorgon is showing up. There's a lot of stuff from probably the first 2 seasons that's coming back. So again, there was a decent amount in this trailer that they showed, just kind of teasing us of what's to come, which I really, again, that's what I like about pretty much like any trailer for the previous seasons of Stranger Things. They always kind of teased us of what was going to happen. You never really could predict what was going to happen in each season unless you were like really analyzing it. But it's like, why would you full on like waste your time and trying to spoil something for you? Just go into it kind of somewhat blind. What else is there? I really like the bit of dialogue with Hopper and Eleven. Well, it's more Hopper speaking, really, saying, can you fight one last time? Like, let's end this, kid. Which I very much enjoyed, and I love seeing that. There's a really cool sequence they show where I think it's with Lucas and Max. Well, there's a shot of them where he's holding her hand, and you can tell she's still in hospital. But this one that I really liked seeing, kind of an homage, it looks like, to Jurassic Park, is them like hiding from the Demodogs, I think, somewhere. I don't know if it's in the hospital building. It could be, because Max is wearing a hospital gown. So I think it would make sense if that were to happen. So yeah, I really like that shot. Yeah, there's so much that I think that we have to look forward to in this final season of Stranger Things, and I really hope it ends on a high note and that they don't, I hope they stick the landing, and that's really hard for TV shows to do, especially with their big series finales. I can't for the life, the only series finale in the last, I don't know how long, where I thought it was really satisfying and it left on a good note was Cobra Kai, for me at least. I thought Cobra Kai ended fantastically, in my opinion. So I hope Stranger Things really sticks to landing, because this show's been going on since 2016. And it's been, I believe, about 9 years since the first season premiered. A little over 9 years, and that's wild. I was 15 when that show started, and I'll be 25 when the final season begins, because I think I said in one of my Stranger Things season 5 video that came out a few months ago, that it's, I think, the final season starts on the 26th of November, I believe. We get a couple of the episodes, and then I think December 24th or 25th, because it says Christmas, will be volume 2, part 2, and then December 31st, New Year's Eve, will be the finale. So I think it's 8 episodes, so the 8th and final episode, the series finale, will be New Year's Eve. It seems like that's pretty far away, but considering the fact that we're halfway through 2025, I believe before we know it, the final season will be here, and we'll be able to see all these characters. Hopefully some will get a satisfying conclusion. Who knows? A few might die, but hopefully they go out on a high note in a very heroic way. So that's all I ask for, is just give us satisfying ends to these characters, whether they end up living or dying. That's all I want. I want this to stick the landing so badly, because I've loved this show ever since it came out. I might end up doing individual reviews for the previous seasons closer to when the new one comes out. So if you want me to do that, I mean, I'm happy to. I haven't rewatched the show probably since season 4 came out, and that was a little over 3 years ago now. So that's not going to complain about that. I'm happy to do it because I enjoy the show, and it means a lot to me, which is weird to say, but again, since it's been nearly a decade. I think sometime next year it'll be a decade since it came out. Since the show started, and kind of, even though it shouldn't have lasted this long like many TV shows, I personally am happy that Stranger Things has stuck around this long. And I think all fans, hopefully we will be satisfied when this show wraps up. Okay, cool. So that's what I wanted to say. That's going to conclude this episode of the Porter Says podcast. My camera is very in a weird angle, so I'm sorry if it looks weird. I was just trying to sort it out before I started filming. But I hope you enjoyed this one. It's obviously going to be a lot shorter, which is a good thing. So let me know your thoughts down below and what you thought of the trailer and your predictions and theories about this final season. And I will catch you guys next time. Probably will be Fantastic Four, since I'm seeing it this Wednesday. I'm very excited for that. But yeah, take care, guys.